I am Sarah, I am 32 years old. I work in an office where I answer phones and type things into computers. My husband Mark is 35, he is an engineer. We got married 5 years ago. Everyone said we were picture perfect. That is what they said, picture perfect, but pictures lie, they only show the surface. The surface can look smooth while underneath everything is cracking. It started small. Mark started working later. At first it was just one night a week. Then two. Then he was gone most evenings. He would come home after 9 o'clock, his shirt wrinkled, his eyes tired. He would kiss my forehead like I was a child and go straight to shower. No conversation. No asking about my day. Nothing. I tried to talk to him. Mark, I would say, we need time together. He would nod and say, I know, Sarah. This project is almost done. Just one more month. But 1 month became two. Two became 6. The project was never done. There was always another project. Anniversary came. He forgot, completely forgot. I sat at the kitchen table with a home-cooked meal getting cold for 3 hours. When he finally came home at 10, he looked at the candles and said, oh no. Was today the day? That was it. No real apology, just oh no. He did not even try to make it up to me. I cried that night in our bed while he snored next to me. He did not notice my crying. He had not noticed me for months. My friends started asking questions. Where is Mark? They would say at parties, he is working, I would answer. Their faces would get that pity look. I hated that look. They would pat my arm and say it must be so hard. I would smile and say it is fine, but it was not fine, nothing was fine. Then came the office Christmas party. Mark was supposed to come, he promised. I bought a new dress. Red, I spent 2 hours getting ready. I looked good. I felt good. For the first time in a long time I felt like someone might see me, really see me. Mark texted me at 5 o'clock. Project emergency. Cannot make it, so sorry, just like that, 8 words. 8 words to cancel our entire evening. I went to the party alone. Everyone asked where Mark was. I drank too much wine. I laughed too loud. I pretended I was happy. Then I met Daniel. He worked in accounting. He was nice. He listened when I talked. He looked at me like I was interesting, like I was a person, not a piece of furniture. We talked for hours. He brought me drinks. He told me I looked beautiful in my red dress. Nobody had told me I looked beautiful in so long. When the party ended, he offered to walk me to my car. I said yes. In the parking garage, he kissed me. I let him. Then more happened. Right there in the back seat of my car like we were teenagers. It was wrong. I knew it was wrong even as it was happening. But for those 30 minutes I felt alive. I felt seen. I felt like I mattered. I drove home feeling sick and excited at the same time. Mark was still not home. The house was dark. I showered for a long time, scrubbing my skin until it was red. I told myself it was a mistake, a one-time mistake that would never happen again. I told myself Mark would never know and I would never tell him. I would just be better. I would fix our marriage somehow. But I did not fix anything. Mark came home at midnight. He did not notice anything different about me. He did not notice me at all. 2 weeks passed. I tried to forget about Daniel. I tried to be patient with Mark. I cooked his favorite meals. I left sweet notes in his lunch box. I did not complain when he worked late. I was being the perfect wife. I thought maybe if I was perfect enough, Mark would see me again. Then what happened with Daniel would just be a bad memory, a moment of weakness that did not matter. But Mark still did not see me. He came home later than ever. He talked less than ever. One night I asked him, do you still love me? He looked surprised. Of course I do, Sarah. Why would you ask that? He said it like it was obvious. Like love was a fact you state, not something you show. I need more than of course, I said. I need you to be here, actually here. He sighed that heavy sigh, the one that says I am being difficult. Sarah, I am providing for us, for our future. The overtime is paying for the house we talked about. Remember, the house with the big yard? I did remember. We had talked about that house 2 years ago, before he disappeared into his work, before I became a ghost in my own marriage. Maybe I don't want a house, I said. Maybe I want a husband. He rubbed his temples. Can we talk about this later? I have an early meeting. That was the night I cracked. I sat in the dark living room until 3 in the morning. I thought about Daniel, how he had looked at me, how he had made me feel. I thought about Mark, how he had not touched me in months. How he had forgotten my birthday too, not just our anniversary. How I had become something he scheduled around like a dentist appointment. I took out my phone. I found Daniel's number. I texted him. Can we talk? He answered in 1 minute. Of course. We met for coffee the next day. Then lunch the day after that. Then drinks. Each time I told myself it was just friendship, just someone to talk to, but we both knew what it was. 3 weeks after the Christmas party, I went to his apartment. We did not talk much that time. I was living 2 lives, the good wife at home waiting for Mark, making dinners that got cold, and the other Sarah, the one Daniel saw, the one who was alive and interesting. I hated myself, but I could not stop. Mark was not there to stop me. He was not there at all. One afternoon Mark came home early. I was not expecting him. He walked into the bedroom while I was changing my shirt. He saw the marks on my neck. He stood in the doorway, his face completely blank. No anger, no sadness, just blank. What is that? He asked. His voice was flat. I pulled my shirt down. My heart was beating so loud I could hear it in my ears. What is what on your neck? Those marks. I had forgotten about them. Daniel had been passionate. The marks were faint but there. Purple smudges. I don't know, maybe I scratched myself. Mark looked at me for a long time. A very long time. He was not blank anymore. His eyes were doing something I had never seen. They were seeing me, really seeing me. And I could tell he knew, he just knew, not because of the marks, because of everything, because of the way I could not look at him, because of the weight of all the months of nothing between us. Who is he? Mark asked. Still calm, too calm. Who is who? I said, my voice was shaking. The man you are seeing. I could have lied. I could have kept lying, but something broke inside me. All the anger, all the loneliness, all the feeling invisible, it all came out at once. His name is Daniel, I said. And yes, I am seeing him. Do you want to know why? Because you are never here, Mark. You are never here. You forgot our anniversary. You forgot my birthday. You come home and you don't even look at me. You treat me like I am part of the furniture. So yes, I found someone who sees me. Someone who thinks I am worth looking at. That is who he is. I said it all in one breath. I said it like I was the victim, like my cheating was his fault, like he had made me do it. Mark did not yell, he did not cry, he just nodded slowly like I had told him the weather forecast. I see, he said. Then he turned around and walked out of the bedroom. I heard him go down the stairs. I heard him open the front door. I heard his car start. I did not hear him slam anything. He just left, quietly, completely. That was the last time I saw him. That was 3 months ago. He did not come back that night, or the next night, or the next. He did not call, he did not text, he just vanished. I called his office. They said he had taken a leave of absence. I called his mother. She said, I think you have done enough, Sarah. Then she hung up on me. I called his friends. They did not answer, or they answered and said, we don't want to get in the middle, then they hung up. I sent him hundreds of texts. At first they were angry. How dare you just leave like this? We need to talk. Then they were sorry. Mark, please come back. I made a mistake. I am so sorry. Then they were desperate. Mark, please just tell me you are okay. Just one word, please. He never answered, not one word. I went to his workplace. They said he was not there. I went to his favorite coffee shop. He was not there. I drove past his brother's house. His brother came outside and told me to leave or he would call the police. He doesn't want to see you, Sarah. Respect that. But how can you respect something that does not make sense? How can you respect silence? In the first week I told myself he just needed time. He was hurt. He would come back. We would talk. We would fix this. Couples go through things. Couples survive affairs. I had seen it on television shows. People forgive. People move on. In the second week I started to panic. I could not sleep. I could not eat. I called in sick to work. My boss was not happy. I lay on our bed, his side still neat from the morning he left, and stared at the ceiling. I played back that last conversation over and over. The way I had said it, the way I had blamed him. I started to see something I had not seen then. I had not apologized, not once. I had told him I cheated, and then I had told him it was his fault. But still I thought he should have fought. He should have yelled. He should have thrown something. He should have stayed and fought for us. That is what love does, right? It fights. By the third week, Daniel texted me. Hey, you okay? I haven't heard from you. I deleted his number. I blocked him. He was not the point. He was never the point. He was just a symptom of a disease I had created. I tried to find Mark through a lawyer. The lawyer sent him papers. Mark hired his own lawyer. I got a letter. It was typed. No handwriting. No personal words. Just my client wishes to proceed with divorce proceedings. Quests no direct contact. That was it. The coldest thing I had ever read, colder than his silence. My friends found out. I don't know how. Maybe Mark told them. Maybe his family told them, but they found out. My best friend Lisa called me. Sarah, is it true? Did you cheat on Mark? I started to explain. I started to tell her about the anniversary, the birthday, the loneliness. She stopped me. Sarah, he was working himself to death for you, for your future. How could you? Then she hung up. She unfriended me on everything. She blocked my number. She was my best friend since high school, gone just like that. One by one they all disappeared. The invitations stopped coming. The group chats went silent. I would see pictures on social media, pictures of them all together, at dinners, at parties. Mark was not in them, but they were together, and I was not there. It was like I had been erased from my own life. My mother called. Sarah, what did you do? Not are you okay, not what happened. Just what did you do? She said, marriage is work. You don't just give up because you're bored. I tried to tell her I was not bored. I was broken. She said, you broke yourself. Don't blame Mark. Everyone was taking his side. Everyone, people who had been my friends for years, people who had heard me complain about Mark being distant, people who had nodded and said, that must be so hard for you. Now they were saying, you deserve this. Did I deserve it? I cheated. That is wrong. I know it is wrong. But does that mean I deserve to be erased? Does that mean I deserve silence? Does that mean I deserve to lose everything, my husband, my friends, my whole life, without even a conversation? At work, things got worse. I could not focus. I made mistakes. I snapped at customers. My boss called me into his office. Sarah, your performance has been unacceptable. You missed 3 deadlines last week. I tried to explain. I said I was going through a hard time. He said, everyone goes through hard times. Still have to do our jobs. He put me on probation. One more mistake and I would be fired. I started seeing things. I would see Mark's car on the street, but when I looked closer, it was a different car. I would hear my phone buzz and think it was him, but it was just spam. I would smell his cologne in the grocery store and turn around, but it was a stranger. My mind was playing tricks on me because my mind could not accept that he was really gone. The house started to feel like a prison. Every room had memories. The kitchen where I cooked for him, the living room where we watched movies, the bedroom where he last looked at me with those eyes that knew everything. I stopped sleeping in our bed. I slept on the couch. I could not handle the emptiness of his side. I started going to Mark's gym. I thought maybe I would see him there. I went for 2 weeks straight. I did not see him. I asked the front desk lady if she had seen him. She looked at me strange. Mark hasn't been here for months, she said. He canceled his membership. Months. He had been pulling away for months before I even cheated. The realization hit me like a brick. While I was feeling sorry for myself, while I was feeling invisible, he had already been leaving. Not physically, but emotionally. He had been checking out of our marriage long before Daniel. I just had not noticed because I was too busy being the victim. I hired a private detective. I know that sounds crazy. But I was crazy. I needed to know where he was. I needed to see him, even from a distance. The detective found him in 1 week. He was living in a small apartment across town. He had a new job. He had new friends. He had joined a running club. He looked happy in the pictures the detective took. He was smiling, actually smiling. I had not seen him smile like that in years. The detective also found something else. Bank records. Mark had been putting away money for 2 years. A lot of money. Separate account I did not know about. It was not for a house. It was for something else. The detective could not tell what. I confronted the lawyer. I demanded to know about the money. The lawyer sent me a letter. This one had one handwritten line at the bottom, Mark's handwriting. It said the money was for your dream house, the down payment. I was going to surprise you on our anniversary. I have closed the account. You will receive half in the settlement. I read that line 50 times. My dream house. He remembered. He had been working those late nights for my dream. He had been sacrificing for me. While I was complaining about being alone, he was building our future. While I was feeling unloved, he was showing love the only way he knew how, by providing, by sacrificing, by working himself empty for a surprise that would never come. The anniversary he forgot. He forgot because he was finalizing the paperwork. He was working so hard he lost track of the date, not because he did not care. Because he cared too much. I had it all wrong, every single thing. I thought he was abandoning me. He was building me a home. I thought he did not see me. He was looking at me every single day, exhausted, thinking he was doing the right thing. I thought he was distant. He was drowning. And what did I do? I threw him an anchor and called it honesty. The detective gave me Mark's new address. I went there. I sat in my car across the street for 3 hours. I saw him come home. He was wearing running clothes. He looked healthy. He looked peaceful. He unlocked his door and went inside. He did not look over his shoulder. He did not check the street. He was not worried about me anymore. He was free. I got out of my car. I walked to his door. My hand was shaking as I raised it to knock, but I could not do it. What would I say? Sorry, that word is so small. It is a pebble trying to fill a canyon. I stood there for 10 minutes. Then I turned around and walked back to my car. As I was driving away, I saw his living room light turn on. I saw his shadow in the window. He was probably making dinner, for one, after a run with his new friends, in his new life. I went home, our home. The house we rented together, it was full of his things still, his books, his coffee maker, his old running shoes by the door. He had left everything behind. He had left so cleanly, so completely. It was like he had never existed. Except he had, and I had erased him. The divorce papers came, I signed them. I did not fight. I signed away 15 years of knowing him, 5 years of marriage. I signed it in 3 minutes. My lawyer said Mark had been fair, more than fair. He gave me half of everything, even the savings. He did not have to. He could have fought. He could have punished me, but he did not. He just wanted out, clean, simple, gone. The final hearing was by video. I saw his face on the screen for the first time in 3 months. He looked good, he looked rested. His eyes were clear. They did not look at me with hate. They did not look at me with love. They looked at me like I was a problem that had been solved. The judge asked if there was anything we wanted to say to each other. Mark shook his head. No, nothing. The judge looked at me. I opened my mouth. I wanted to say it all. I wanted to say I was sorry, that I was wrong, that I had ruined everything, that I understood now, that I saw what he had been doing, that I saw his love now, that it was too late. But the words stuck in my throat. Because what good are words now? What good is anything now? I shook my head. Nothing. I had nothing left to say that mattered. The judge declared us divorced. Mark's screen went dark. He was gone again. This time legally. This time forever. That night I got a package. No return address. Inside was a key and a note. Mark's handwriting again. It said, "This is the key to the storage unit where your half of everything is. I kept the furniture. You can have the rest. I hope you find what you are looking for. I hope you find what you are looking for." That was the kindest and cruelest thing he could have said, because I had been looking for him. I had been looking for his attention, his love, his presence, and I had it all along. I just could not see it behind his exhaustion, behind his silence, behind his sacrifice, and when I finally saw it, he was gone. I went to the storage unit. It was full of boxes, all labeled in Mark's neat handwriting. Kitchen, books, photos. I opened the photos box. Inside were our wedding pictures, our vacation pictures, pictures of us laughing, pictures where he was looking at me like I was the only person in the world. I sat on the concrete floor and looked at those pictures for hours. I remembered that Mark. I remembered that love. I remembered being happy. When did that stop? When did I stop seeing him? When did I start believing that love had to be constant entertainment, constant attention, constant proof? When did I become so entitled to his energy that I could not see he had none left to give? The answer hit me slowly, like ice melting. It was not Mark who stopped seeing me. I stopped seeing him. I stopped seeing his effort. I stopped seeing his sacrifice. I stopped seeing that his way of loving was working himself to death for a future he thought we both wanted. I stopped seeing that he was a human being who was tired, who was stressed, who was trying his best. And when he needed me to be patient, to be understanding, to be the one holding things together, I cheated. And then I blamed him for it. I blamed him for my weakness. I blamed him for my loneliness. I blamed him for being human. That is what everyone knows now. That is why they all left. Because I did not just cheat. I cheated and then I tried to make him the villain. I tried to make my betrayal his fault. That is what people cannot forgive, not the act itself, but the refusal to own it. The entitlement, the belief that my feelings mattered more than his reality. I still live in the same house. I cannot afford to move. I sleep on the couch. I go to work. I make mistakes. My boss fired me last week. He said, "Sarah, you are not here even when you are here." He was right. I am not here. I am stuck in that moment. The moment Mark asked, "Who is he?" and I answered with cruelty instead of truth. Sometimes I drive past Mark's apartment. I never stop anymore. I just drive by slowly. Sometimes I see him running. He runs past my car and does not see me. He runs like a man who is free. He runs like a man who escaped a burning building. My friends still post pictures. They still have parties. Mark is not in those pictures, but I am not either. I am the ghost they do not mention. The story they tell when someone asks, "Whatever happened to Sarah?" And they say she cheated on Mark. He left, she deserved it. Do I deserve it? That question circles my brain like a vulture. I know cheating is wrong. I know betrayal is pain. I know I caused this. But does that mean I do not deserve even one conversation, one chance to apologize, one moment of human connection before being erased? Mark gave me the answer. He gave it to me in his silence. In his disappearance. In his clean break. The answer is yes. Yes, I deserve this because I took his love and called it neglect. I took his sacrifice and called it abandonment. I took his future and burned it for a moment of feeling seen. The cruelest part is that he is not punishing me. He is not trying to hurt me. He is simply done. He set his boundary. He walked away. He is protecting himself with the same quiet consistency he used to protect our future. I am the one making it punishment. I am the one who cannot let go. I am the one drowning in the silence he needed to breathe. I saw a picture online yesterday. It was from my friend Lisa's birthday party. Mark was not there, but Daniel was. Daniel is dating someone from accounting now. They look happy. Everyone in the comments is cheering for them. "So glad you found someone who appreciates you," they write. The irony is so thick I could choke on it. Mark started dating someone too. Her name is Emily. She is a runner in his club. She posted a picture of them at a finish line. They are both sweaty and smiling. Someone commented, "Mark looks so happy." He does. He looks like a man who finally got what he needed. Not someone new, just someone who sees him, someone who does not ask him to bleed for a dream and then call it not enough. I am still here in this house, on this couch, waiting for something, forgiveness, understanding, a second chance. I don't even know anymore. I just know that I had everything. A man who loved me enough to work himself empty, a life that was solid, a future that was real, and I threw it away because I wanted to feel special for 30 minutes in a parked car. The self-awareness is here now. It lives in my chest like a stone. I see what I did. I see who I was. I see the entitlement that rotted underneath my complaints. I see that I wanted Mark to fill a hole in me that I should have filled myself. I see that I blamed him for my own emptiness. But here is the partial part. The part that keeps me up at night. The rationalization that still lives. If he had just told me about the house. If he had just said, I am saving for us. If he had just been honest about his plan instead of thinking a surprise would fix everything. If he had seen me drowning and thrown me a rope instead of working on a boat I did not know he was building. If, those two letters are my cage. Because I know that even if he had done all those things, I would have found another reason. Another complaint. Another way to make my feelings his fault. The truth is, I was not capable of receiving his love because I did not love myself enough to be still in the quiet moments. I needed constant proof, constant noise, constant validation. Mark saw that. He saw it before I did. That is why he left so cleanly, because he knew that staying would mean more of my hunger, more of my need. More of me taking and calling it giving. So I sit here, alone, divorced, unemployed, ghosted by everyone I ever called friend, and I understand, I truly do, I deserve this. Not the cheating part, nobody deserves betrayal, but Mark deserved better than me, and he finally gave himself what he deserved. He gave himself peace. The door is locked now. The silence is permanent, the loss is total, and I am left with the cruelest gift he could give, clarity. I see it all now. Every mistake, every moment I chose to be a victim instead of a partner, every time I asked for more when I should have been grateful for what I had. I am losing my mind like the title says, but not because he vanished. I am losing my mind because I finally see myself through his eyes, and I see why he had to go. I hope he is happy, I really do. I hope Emily sees him. I hope she appreciates the quiet ways he shows love. I hope she never asks him to break himself to prove his devotion. As for me, I am still looking for what I lost. But I know now that it was never Mark, it was never the house, it was never the friends, it was me. I lost myself somewhere in the space between wanting to be seen and being unable to see anyone else. The phone does not ring. The door does not knock. The silence is complete. And in that silence, I hear the truth I have been avoiding. I did not cheat because Mark was absent. I cheated because I was empty. And emptiness will destroy whatever it touches, looking for something to fill it. I am the cautionary tale now. I am the story people tell. Don't be like Sarah. Don't throw away a good man because you're bored. They are right. I am a warning. A living, breathing warning. But warnings only help those who can see the danger before they fall. I fell. I fell far. And the bottom is this: a couch, a silent phone, a box of photos, and the knowledge that the love of my life is happy because he finally escaped me. I am losing my mind. Everyone thinks I deserve it. They are right, I deserve it, not because I cheated, but because even now, even with all this clarity, even with all this regret, there's still a small part of me that whispers, but if he had just been there. That part is the part that will never heal. That part is the part that proves I have not learned enough. That part is the part that will keep me company on this couch in this silence for a long, long time. Mark found his peace by leaving. I will have to find mine by staying. Staying in this empty house. Staying with this empty self. Staying until I learn to fill my own holes instead of asking someone else to drown in them. The sun is coming up now. Another day of silence. Another day of being the ghost in my own story. I will get up. I will make coffee. I will sit at the kitchen table. I will look at the spot where Mark used to sit. And I will practice seeing him, really seeing him, the way he was. The way I was too blind to appreciate. This is my life now. This is what I built. This is what I deserve. A marriage ended not with a fight but with a fact. A husband who vanished not because he was cruel but because he was kind enough to himself to stop accepting cruelty. I am losing my mind, but maybe that is what needed to happen. Maybe you have to lose your mind to find your soul. Maybe you have to lose everything to see what you had. Mark is gone, and I am here. And everyone is right. I deserve it. I deserve the silence. I deserve the emptiness. I deserve the slow, quiet consequence of my own sharp moment of disrespect. The only question now is, when will I deserve to forgive myself? The answer, I think, is never. Some things you don't forgive, you just carry them. You carry them like stones in your pockets, and you learn to walk heavier. You learn to walk with the weight of what you destroyed. I am walking now, one foot in front of the other, in an empty house, in an empty life. Carrying the weight of a man who finally learned to put himself first. Carrying the weight of a love I suffocated with my need. Carrying the weight of everyone who was right about me. He found out I cheated and vanished. I am losing my mind. And everyone thinks I deserve it. They are right. They are all right. And the cruelest truth is that the only person who could tell me I don't deserve it is the one person I hurt too much to ever ask for mercy. So I sit in the silence he gave me. And I practice mercy on myself. A mercy that sounds like, yes, you did this. Yes, you deserve this. But you are still here, and being here is the price. Pay it with grace. Pay it with silence. Pay it alone. This is my story now. The story of how I lost everything by needing too much, seeing too little, and speaking one sharp moment of truth that was really just a lie I told myself to feel justified. The story of a man who loved quietly and left completely. The story of a woman who got exactly what she asked for and discovered it was the one thing she could not live with. I am Sarah. I am 32 years old. I am alone. And I am learning slowly that some silences are not punishments, they are answers. And this silence is Mark's final answer to me: no. No more. No more of your need. No more of your taking. No more. I hear you, Mark. In the silence, I finally hear you. And I am sorry. I am so sorry. But sorry is just a word. And words are what got me here, so I will stop with words now. I will stop with everything. I will just sit in this silence and let it teach me what love really is. Love is not being seen. Love is seeing. And I was too blind to see you. Now you are gone. And I am blind and alone. And that is fair. That is just. That is what I deserve.